Welcome to the podcast of Torres Consulting. Here you will find information about the hospitality industry. News, opinion, debate, interviews, and anything related to hotels and the industry. My name is Pablo Torres, and you can follow me on my website www.torresconsulting.co.uk, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Pablo Torres. Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast. We have a new interview today. We have a very, very special guest, Mr. Rocco Bova. Hello, how are you, Rocco?
Good morning, Pablo.
Good morning to you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
My pleasure. Thank you for making some time for this to have this conversation. Mr. Rocco Bova, it's a general manager at a very, very special property in Mexico. We're discussing now that usually when people think about Yucatan and that area of Mexico, they straight away think of the usual beachfront, all-inclusive sort of resorts. But your property is way different to that kind of concept. So probably we can start with that one. Today, Chablé Yucatán. What can you tell about this property you've been managing now for almost 4 years?
Well, Pablo, thank you very much for the kind words and introduction. Chablé Yucatán is a dream of the owners and developer of the brand and the hotel that about 15 years ago they purchased a very large piece of land in the earth of Yucatán, which is basically one of the three states that makes the peninsula of Yucatán. So a lot of people, mistakes the peninsula of Yucatán with Cancun, and maybe the Riviera Maya. But Cancun and Riviera Maya belongs to another state called Quintana Roo.
Mm-hmm.
So the peninsula of Yucatán has three main states: Campeche, Yucatán, that is in the middle, and Quintana Roo. So Campeche is on the Gulf of Mexico. Quintana Roo is on the Caribbean Sea, and Yucatán is in between. So we have a bit of Caribbean side and a bit of Gulf of Mexico side. So Yucatán has never really been a very touristic place. It's always been a very low profile part of Mexico, yet extremely authentic. So if you really want to come and discover the true authenticity of the Mexican culture, the gastronomy, the history, and the also, some of the most important archaeological sites in the Central America, well, welcome to Yucatán. We will be very happy to have you here. Even more so, Chichen Itza, which a lot of people associate with Cancun, is actually in the Yucatán state. It's not in Quintana Roo state. So the majority and the most important cities of the Maya civilization are actually between the state of Yucatán and into Chiapas, another state more in the Chiapas, inner land of Central America, and going south, obviously, into Honduras, into Belize, even further south. So what can I tell you about our hotel? Our hotel is a wellness resort. It was born with 5 pillars, which include wellness as one of the top 5, beside gastronomy, architecture, design, and service. So we believe that in order for a human being, a human person to be to be healthy and to be well, first has to have some strong beliefs in spirituality and connection with nature. So were the Maya people. The Maya culture were very spiritual under this point of view, and their respect to nature was the highest possibly, because they knew already over 2,500, 3,000 years ago that nature was providing them with livelihood, with food, with water, and everything that surroundings. So that we had an environment where we can thrive as a civilization. And they respected a lot nature. So for them, nature was their God. And on the other side, they believed that paying respect to nature through rituals, offerings, and activities that would provide nature with this closure, being close, but at the same time being respectful and far enough not to damage the environment. For me, this is, one of the fundamental reason of our existence, and more than now than ever, we all keep hearing, sustainability, nature, climate change, deforestation. So what our impact, on the environment and so on and so forth. So what better, than understanding more the Maya culture and linking that with the current situation.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I think we have the right product for people that they first they want to take a rest. We only have a very low density. We are setting 50 acres of land, developed land, and another 700 acres of complete virgin jungle. So we have a plenty of space for guests. And at the same time, we have also a wellness concept that helps our people, our guests, basically to maybe have a change in their life. And we have a spiritual leader, which is an expert in Maya culture, as well as as a healer, a natural healer.
Mm-hmm.
And Monica, that's her name, or Abuela Akbal, that's her Maya name.
Uh-huh.
Abuela Akbal helps our guests basically to get through a journey, sometimes very short, doesn't need to be, in order to make a change in your life. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, they think, it takes a long time and, a lot of effort. But we have ceremony that can last only a few hours. For example, one of the most relevant is the Temazcal. The mm-hmm. Temazcal ceremony, I'm not sure if you are familiar with it. The Temazcal is like, in English speaking countries, is more similar to a sweat lodge. Uh-huh. Or like a sauna, even more so like a sauna, but it's not at all like a sauna. I mean, I'm just giving you an idea. You enter into an igloo like structure, and you're gonna get inside there where, rocks, volcanic rocks will be heated with fire. And once they are basically red, hot mm-hmm. red, the Abuela Akbal, through chanting and water mixed with special herbs, mm-hmm. will basically put this water over the rocks and will create steam, but steam that is also an healing steam. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to close you down into this igloo for about 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
3 hours. You're going to be there on your own for 3 hours, meditating and rethinking, about yourself, your life, your past life, but also making an intention about your future life. Once you get out of there, what are you going to do? Who are you going to be? And during this, 3 hours or so ceremony, the Abuela Akbal is going to help you every more or less each hour. Will give you a little break. Will get you out of the Temazcal. We'll do some rituals and chanting, and we'll get you back in, because it's a preparation between the 3 sections of the ritual. For many guests, this has been life-changing. I've seen people in tears. I've seen people, hugging me after that. I've seen so many transformations during this ceremony, and definitely something that I recommend for those that they've been through particularly stressful time, maybe a loss of a dear one, maybe a separation or divorce, a death of somebody very mm-hmm. close to them, mm-hmm. or maybe they want to change something in their life. Maybe they want to move on from something that is keeping them with the past. And, this is only one of many activities that we do uh-huh. at the resort. We also have a beautiful spa where you can get a great massage. We have a beautiful gym. It's a 360-degree healing process that you get from a physical, spiritual, and mental point of view.
Wow. Okay. Top 5 International Spa Award, one of the many awards that the hotel has won recently, right?
Pablo, I lost count. I think we are 46 now, 46 or 47.
Wow.
And we've been just nominated recently by Deluxe Asia for 3 more awards, which we will know in November about our spa and wellness program. And the World Travel Award also, we have 2 nominations this year. We will know the result also in October. And Travel and Leisure also released their best hotels selection towards the end of the year. So between now and the end of the year, I'm expecting maybe 4 or 5 more, easy.
Wow.
So, we've been blessed with so much recognition. I think because of, the hard work of our team members, the love and commitment of the team and the owners and the sales and marketing team and the industry and the trust of our guests that have been over and over already since the past 4 years. And so much so that the owners now, they want to develop the brand into a regional brand first, and maybe in the future, who knows, international.
Okay, because I've seen on the preparing obviously for our conversation on the website, there are 3 locations. Am I right, from Chablé?
It's correct. We have, beside the Chablé Yucatán, we have one in Maroma, Playa Maroma, which is south of Cancun, about 1 hour south of Cancun. And then we have a last one. What you see on the website is actually one which is going to come only in about 2 years, the one Chablé La Paz or Sio Cortez. But we have another one coming up very soon, probably in the next 4 or 5 months, which is not on the website yet, but we are doing some renovation work, and we should be able to announce it in the next couple of months officially as a part of the family.
Brilliant, great. Very, very interesting concept, actually. This is obviously the latest project, but I was checking on that you've basically been managing hotels everywhere in the world. So I see, going back your history, you've been Dominican Republic, Mauritius, Oman, you've been in India, in Malaysia, Singapore. So how did it all start? Why did you choose the hospitality industry to start with? And then what took you to the management?
Sure, Pablo. You see, the thing is that a lot of people, they find their calling later in life, or maybe they change, they have a change in their life at a certain point, and then, their objective, personal, professional, change, obviously, over time. But for some reasons, I discovered that serving other people was my calling. I just, since very young, and maybe because I come from a very humble family in the south of Italy, and I always saw my parents, hosting friends or family in a very, very human way, very humble. They would open the door of our house to anybody, any stranger. We will never say, no, go away. I don't know you. Always open the door and welcome them. And sometimes, you have these people that they try to sell you something. And I remember my mom, even if she didn't need anything from them, she will say, listen, I don't want to buy anything from you, but let me give you a bottle of water and a piece of bread. That for me is the hospitality. That's how I interpret hospitality for me. And I started, I lived by these values, over the time. And then I discovered at the very young age of 13, I discovered that, there were many restaurants and bars in my hometown that they were looking for, servers, helpers. And, so one day I decided, okay, let me try to find some work and earn a little money. And I joined this small bar in my hometown. And, for some reason, I enjoyed it. It was fun, and it was not so much hard work at the beginning, because the owner was also a very fair man and only allowed me to work daytime and only maximum 8 hours a day, because obviously I was very young. But I was not expert at all. I made so much damage that after 3 days, he sacked me. He told me, Rocco, I'm so sorry. You're a nice guy and you're doing well, but you make so much damage, I cannot pay you. You cost me more than what I'm paying you.
Okay.
So he gave me the 3 days pay, and he told me, when you are able to hold the tray and to have some experience, come back. And I went back home a little bit sad, but with a lot of motivation, because obviously that lost battle didn't make me lose the war. You know, I said, no, next year I'm going to have to find another job. I'm going to have to learn how to hold the trade. I'm going to have to find a way not to make damage so I can continue this. And so it happens, you know, year after year, you know, working from one bar to another bar, another restaurant. I made a reputation, and basically people were calling me. You know, I was no longer looking for jobs. People were looking for me because, you know, I did it with passion and with integrity and hard work. And, you know, you make a reputation very, very fast. And the day I really had this, you know, really great experience or great opportunity was the day I met a guy, you know, a Brazilian guy back in my hometown, who asked me, what would you like to do, Rocco, in your life, you know? And I said to him, you know, I know that I can do this job very, very well, and I want to travel the world. And he said to me, why don't you come to London? I said to him, if you're not kidding, I'm coming. So he said to me, sure, I can help you. You know, I can help you find a job. It's very easy in London. And it was, in fact, I bought myself a one-way ticket, and I had £400 in my pocket, and the rest is history. So, you know, once I landed in London, I found a job within a week. Then I went to school to learn English first, and then I went to another university to learn hotel management. And basically my career officially started basically in there.
And lots of different roles, positions. And also I see that you are someone, I follow you on social media. You're always updating yourself, doing new courses, attending webinars, participating obviously in there. And that shows the importance of the, continuous education, which I think you're a good advocate on that. So one thing I like to ask every guest that I have on the podcast is, now it's a challenging time with the pandemic, and we have people, mostly young people, finishing the school, university, certain degrees. I'm considering, should I start on this industry or not? Or maybe young people who they're really passionate, but are questioning themselves. Is it really the right industry to go through? So with all your experience, what could be your advice to that kind of profile who may be listening to this podcast?
You see, Pablo, I'm actually coaching a young graduate from a very prestigious hotel school right now. And he asked me exactly the same question, you know, about 3-4 weeks ago, you know, when we started these coaching sessions every week. And he said to me, Rocco, what do you think I should do? And I told him, you know, that now is the best time. Now is the best time to actually be more relevant. Because now there is, even though there is a lot of talent available, there is so much talent available that is actually even more confusing than before. So we all know very well when there is confusion, if you are focused, you can find clarity. If you are not focused, you just find more confusion. And if you want to distinguish yourself from the masses, from the 99%, you know, it's actually very easy. Because if one person will do what 99% of people do, then you will become one needle in a haystack. But if you do differently and you distinguish from the mass, then you will be easily spotted. And people will look for those 1% that they are easily spotted. The job will come to you. You don't even have to look for jobs. There are plenty of opportunities, even during crisis, there are plenty of opportunities. And now is the best time. And guess what? You know, I had my breakthroughs in my careers during challenging times. The first time was 9/11. I was in Dubai, you know, and then from there I moved to Singapore. 2 years later, SARS broke out in Singapore. And guess what? I got a better job during that time. And then a few years later, 2008, crisis, you know, even better job. I went to Delhi, you know, and do a pre-opening of a super luxury hotel, and so on and so forth. You know, I'm not afraid of this crisis. It's certainly the biggest ever crisis that humanity is facing right now. But if we stay positive, there is no tunnel. You just mentioned earlier on about tunnel, light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there's no tunnel. The tunnel is only there if we build a tunnel. But if we build no tunnel, there is actually only light. So you just need to see light, and that's it. If you start to look for the tunnel, then you will get inside, you may not get out.
Yeah, because you're digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah,
and deeper. You know, I went through this at the very first 2 weeks of the pandemic. You know, we were announcing our team members that we were going to close our hotel down indefinitely. We didn't have an opening date. So we said, we're going to close for now. We don't know for how long until we get government news. So even for me, it was dreadful. You know, it was horrible for me even to announce this to my team and to possibly lose all of them, you know, and lose my own job. And for 2 weeks, it was really dreadful. It was really awful because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to behave, because it was first for me and for millions of people around the world. It was uncertain. Definitely, there was no certainty. And I was getting into this negative vortex that was pulling me further down and down and down. And I said, wait a minute, this is not going to work for me. And if it's not going to work for me, it's not going to work for my team. I cannot motivate my team if I continue this. So I started to get involved on social media, because social media are great if you know how to get the best out of them. And I started to get involved in webinar, learn from leaders, more senior leaders than me in other parts of the world, what they were doing, how they were behaving, you know, what action we're taking. And I start to learn. I learn enough to help myself first, so I can help the people around me. And then I started to help others, because the moment you help others, you elevate yourself. You don't elevate others, but you elevate yourself too. As a leader, you feel you have accomplished something if you get people out of trouble. And I continue to do that, and I enjoy to do that. And you know, for me, that's the only way out of a crisis. And as I said, there is only light out there. There's no tunnel. Inspiring.
Learn enough to help yourself so you can elevate yourself, and then therefore you can elevate others. Very nice quote from your side. And a part of the current role that you hold other roles. So I was discussing with you before we started recording. You are a board member of GSM Planet. So can you tell us more about that?
Correct. Well, while I was telling you that there is no tunnel, you know, and I started to change my behavior, you know, some company, they approached me, including the GSM Planet. GSM Planet is a non-profit organization that helps wellness and well-being businesses become more sustainable through best practices, advice. There is a board of experts in the field, and they are able basically to provide with the know-how to any wellness business, spa, gyms, beauty salons, and so on and so forth, to become more sustainable. So, you know, just like that, out of the blue, they approached me, you know, probably because I was recommended from other people in the industry, and they asked me if I wanted to become their board member. And I said, are you sure you're talking to me? You know, it's one of those questions, weird questions. Me? Why me? How? And, you know, they told me, Rocco, you know, we see you, you know, we heard about you, and we were recommended to talk to you about this opportunity. I say, wow, I'd love to. And then I became involved with them. This was more recent. This was about 3-4 months ago. But prior to that, I was approached by two other non-profit organizations. One is Hoteliers Guild. Hoteliers Guild is also a non-profit association of hoteliers, which you will be able to find it on LinkedIn too. And basically is an association of hoteliers that they promote sustainability. You know, they promote and they help hoteliers, you know, with content, information, links, and sharing knowledge about sustainability and how we can become more sustainable as a tourism business. And you know, for them, my involvement is obviously to contribute to their quarterly magazine, as well as I manage one of their social media channel on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, in February, I received another call or another message from Jean-Guy de Gabriac, who is the founder of the World Wellness Weekend. Again, is a global event which focuses on wellness and well-being. And Jean-Guy told me, Rocco, you know, I would like you to become our brand ambassador in Mexico. And, you know, again, you know, if you change your behavior, things happen. You don't have to look for things to get busy. You know, I never been busier than now, to be frank with you, Pablo.
Wow.
And again, you know, I contributed to the chapter. We have a chapter with about 15 ambassadors in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And we are there to promote wellness and well-being. We're going to do very soon on the 19th and 20th of this month, we're going to do the fourth year of this global event, which will involve over 2,500 wellness outlets around the world, from hotel spa to hotel gyms to individual salon to you know, standalone spas around the world. So there are people from Japan to Mexico and anything in between. Basically, that we will open our door to the public, to the local community, and mm-hmm. provide complementary wellness activities, from nutrition to fitness to even massage, even facial. I mean, you name it. Any sort of help to assist an individual to get into a lifestyle of wellness and well-being, because the wellness and well-being, we all know very well, is going to be the future of humanity, I think very well. And now is the moment to get aware, to understand what it is all about. And basically, this is what I do. So I'm very active, you know, just as an individual, but now I'm also part of 3 additional organizations that, you know, I hope I can help, you know, to contribute also to the well-being of these 3 organizations, as well as the followers of these 3 organizations.
Mm-hmm. Which I saw a discussion online that you had with someone regarding the time and the effort you put, because discussing about the amount of hours that one needs to work and how much should be enough, and because seeing the passion that you put on the work that you have, and knowing that it's been like a call since you were a child, and you really are passionate about it. That's what, you know, you were saying, that for you it's not really work, it's just you enjoy it so much, right?
I'm not working really, Pablo. I never worked in my life. In fact, I think, you know, I had always fun, you know, even beside hospitality, I did other jobs, you know, since when I was young, at the beginning of my working life, I worked in many other fields. You know, I even worked as a postman for like 3 years. I worked as a postman back in my home country in Italy. And, you know, I worked in a factory, you know, to pack, you know, satellite dish, you know, and some people think, oh my God, it was so horrible. But guess what? I did it well. And the people of the factory, they asked me, why don't you come full time and join our company and work full time with us? But I said, you know, I'm not sure I want to do this. I want to explore something else first. And then, but if you do whatever you do in life, if you do it passionately, it will never be hard work. Never.
True. Very, very good point. Touching on what you were saying now, sorry, well-being and wellness, and linking it also to the sustainable future. There's a lot of talk about during the pandemic, how the tourism is going to be after the pandemic. You know, if it's going to be a change, it might be less numbers and more focus on that point, specifically on sustainability. So what is your point of view once, let's say, things go to normal, if we can use that word normal, in hopefully just a few months? How do you see that?
Well, Pablo, you know, there is a lot of futurists, you know, around the world, that they all speculate what is all going to look like after this pandemic is over. I don't really have the answer, to be frank. I have an opinion, and I think that everybody looks forward to go back to normal, to go back to what normal was. That's what I mean. So is that should the new normal be what used to be normal, or should we take this as a chance to transition into something different? That would be another question. You know, the only difference I see moving forward is that people will take care more of themselves from a health and well-being point of view. Now we are discovering different priorities in life, and not just a shiny car, a big diamond ring, or expensive house. These will be somehow secondary, and primary will be your health and well-being. There's no way that you can enjoy a great lifestyle if your health is not number one. My mom, again, I mentioned how I was raised in my house. And she always told us, until this very day, she's 86 next year, and she always tell us, bread and onion and good health, that's all you need. You don't need a big car, a bigger house, an expensive house. You don't need to show off to anybody. Just health and bread and onions. The most basic of the food, if there is any more basic than this, I don't know. But a simple meal and good health. That's all you need at the end of the day. So, the old people, they have a little bit of wisdom, a lot of wisdom, much more than we do today.
Focus on what is really is important. We'll realize what is important now moving forward. Any last advice? We said to the young people, that now is a great time based on your words, because it's time to be relevant, you were saying. So any further advice or last word for those profiles?
Well, for those that they study hospitality, please continue to do so, as long as this is your passion. Because if that is really not your passion, then change subject, study something else, another topic that is your passion. So once you believe, once you find your calling, then you can dig deeper and deeper, and then you become even more engaged in that subject. So, for example, and for the audience knowledge, I went to university at the age of 28. So my hotel management diploma, I got it at the age of 29. I graduated at the age of 29, because then I realized that it was my calling. But between 18 and 27, I did a lot of other things, things that still fill your life with joy, experience, networking with other people, and understanding clearly what you want to be one day. So only later in my life, I realized what I really wanted to be and wanted to do. And that money that I spent and that year that I invested was extremely well invested and I see the return on the investment, obviously, up to date. So, find your calling and then dig deeper.
Brilliant. Nice one. I have loads of notes I was taking on really, really relevant quotes you were saying. I really like the one you said about the coachilla you have and advice for others. That now is, as I was saying, now is the time to be relevant. Focus and find the clarity, and you will stand out. And the fact that you mentioned since the beginning, coming from your family, the education you got, the serving others, which is the true hospitality. I really like that quote that you mentioned as well. And the one you say now that about learning enough to help yourself, so you can elevate yourself, and therefore you will be able to elevate others. Really, really nice, inspiring quotes. Thank you. Thanks very much. Brilliant. Okay, that's really it from my side. I had any other questions? I really found this conversation very inspiring, Rocco. So thank you again for your time. And I'll keep following you. You're everywhere when it comes to social media. You're very active. People go to you to look for advice. So it's pretty easy to track you online. I'll keep following you. Thank you for your inspiring words. Okay.
My pleasure. Have a great day, Pablo.
Thank you.
Saludos. Bye.
That was all for now. Hope you found it useful. Remember that you have more information on our website, www.torresconsulting.co.uk, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Twitter. Stay well. Goodbye for now.